Hi everyone and welcome back to WARNO. Today I have a replay from a few days ago. This is a 2v2, me and Grigory versus two random players. We were playing as the Soviets, I'm playing as the new 7th Panzer Division deck. Grigory is playing as the, well, let's double check, but I think it was the 79th tank. Yes, he was indeed. And the other people were General Paz and Just to Kill. I'm afraid I don't know those guys, but they played well. So this is going to be a lesson in, firstly, how to hold the line, and also how not to attack a town from my side. There were lessons to be learned here for me specifically. I did not do things very sensibly when I went in to attack the town, as you will see during this game. Now, you know, I'm always looking to improve, so feel free to put your suggestions down below in the comments as to what you would do differently when attacking this town. My thoughts are that I should have softened the town up first before I went in. So the first thing to say is I'm playing at this side. My name is Crafty Baggins, no particular reason for that. It was just a random name I selected. I quite often change my name in games. So, I'm getting my recon up there. Now, one thing that I did very stupidly wrong at the start of this match, and I have no idea why, is I didn't put all of my recon far ahead in the recon deployment zone. I have no idea why. My brain was clearly just not switched on at the time. But they get them to where they need to be anyway, so it's fine. Obviously, they start closer to this point. We sort of start closer to this one. For me, in any game on this map, as I said before, this is where the combat will be. This side doesn't see as much because it's all open fields. There's not a big forest at the side, whereas here, everything is much closer together. You've got the huge forest down the side. You've got everything sort of closely knitted together here. I get these units in straight away. I'm being quite aggressive with them, probably quite suicidally, to be honest. Bringing in more reinforcements, more stuff coming in from this side as well. I'm just about to cap this. Got a couple of Strellas there. Got myself a commander up here. Probably in a bad position, to be honest. They're bringing in cluster bombers straight away. Very aggressive. There's a lot of leopards here. They've got quite a lot of infantry there. I'm bringing these in down the road. That just got wrecked. That was my commander who just got smashed by that Lux. That was quite unfortunate. Obviously, lots of bombers flying around there. Strella's getting some shots off at them, but not doing enough damage, not actually getting any hits. A lot of my units got hit badly by these leopards. These two leopards here did a lot of damage to my infantry coming in. I'm in, but this is not ideal. Ideally, maybe I should have brought them in from this side instead. This wasn't great. Obviously, my two little tanks here are engaging the Marders that are popping their heads out, but these guys aren't the best tanks. Realistically, I would have been better off with the tanks that have the missile as well. I assume they are in this version of the deck, but I just didn't pull them out very stupidly at the start. Obviously, these leopards will pose a significant threat to these standard T-55s. And there we go, you can see one dead straight away. I do manage to kill one of the leopards. In the town, things not going great. I'm calling in more reinforcements. Grigory sitting pretty here. I said at the start to Grigory, they're going to come to my side, and as you can see, both players are hitting my side. They have nothing at this side at all. Grigory has plenty at that side. And Grigory's like, I'll go to here, these tree lines. I'm like, yeah, so this was unfortunately bad positioning from us. We probably could have had that town if I'd had Grigory's support immediately. I think at the start there, I had enough infantry in the town. If I had had reinforcements from Grigory, we probably would have managed to hold it. As you can see, I'm pulling these guys back out there just to try and defend this forest instead, because I know there are tanks here. Bringing in a jet there. I'm trying my best to do some damage to these tanks. Need to kill him if I can. Obviously, Roland straight away smashes that thing. I'm bringing in a lot of reinforcements. Grigory's bringing in a few squads as well. Nothing is going to go well here. We need to soften up this town. They're now relying quite heavily on artillery, and that continues throughout this game. They do just keep artillerying our positions and tanks now. Those aren't clusters, but, you know, they still are big shells. They will do damage to the top of these tanks. They're only T-55As. Still managing to do a fair bit of damage to infantry and stuff that gets a bit too close to the front. But they're still reinforcing. At this side, again, there is nothing coming at Grigory. He is absolutely fine there. He is starting to move a few units across this way to see what they've got. But obviously I'm in need of reinforcements at this side because I'm basically facing both of them at the minute. I don't think Grigory believed me at the time though. So Grigory has a couple of Motostrelki there. I was bringing in units that were heading to the town, but I've siphoned them off and brought them in the side here. Bringing in a couple more tanks and things. Equally, they're bringing in more tanks. They've got a Leopard 2A3 there, which is not good news for me. I don't have tanks that match that. Now, at this point, I'm trying desperately not to rely on bombers. Because I know that is the thing with this deck. It is the air spam, and I was trying my best in this game not to rely on them. But realistically, for the tanks you get available to you, I think you do end up relying on the bombers a lot. Now, this isn't the longest game. It's only 30 minutes. I think the entire thing in total was a 40-minute game in terms of time limit. We're okay. We're ahead. They haven't capped this point. So that's good news for us. We've capped this one. Grigory's in firm control of it. They're still sending very little. They've got a few units coming down that side, probably because they've seen him moving up. But most of their forces coming to this town now. I'm trying to do a little bit of pushing at this side, but I'm up against two tanks. They can fire out the town at me. Really, I should be smoking or something. This is one of my examples of me doing this badly. Loads of these Motsuchin going in. They're basically just lambs to the slaughter. They're getting hit by the tanks. Sorry, they're getting hit by the Jaegers. I am dropping my artillery on this now. I am firing at them, but you know, it's not enough. I need more artillery. I needed to soften them up first before I sent units across. I'm genuinely quite surprised that the Motsuchin made it to that side, but look at all the vehicles they came in with. They're all dead. They've now capped this point, so they will neutralize the point system, so we won't be getting any benefit. They're using a lot of mortars and things. Yeah, bad example of how to attack from me. I should know better. I should be using lots of artillery or bombers to soften them up, and now I should be putting smoke down, and I didn't. That's completely on me. A couple of T-80s from Grigory there, hitting this Leopard, but of course the Leopard's going to back out the way. Does get destroyed, thankfully, but I think Grigory took some damage as well there. More Leopards coming in there, plenty of Leopards at this side. They have a firm, secure hold of this. And at this side, we have a firm, secure hold, but there's no enemy units there. They're moving stuff in here, but, I mean, it's meaningless. They can be there. They pose no threat to that point all the way over here. But yeah, looking back now, Grigory really had absolutely nothing coming at him. I didn't realise how little it was. He is sending more stuff over. Look, he's trying to help me with these tanks at the side. Right, so basically this is the situation we're in. Stalemated. I'm here with my units. Grigory's helping on and off with his units. Not a lot happening at this side. Look at the cluster of enemy units there. I'm not getting in there easily. I'm going to speed this up a bit, because honestly not a lot of exciting stuff happens. They send a chopper across, I kill it with my Strellas. Little bits of fire here, there and everywhere, taking out the stuff that comes to the edge, dropping artillery on them. You know, I don't need this to be going at speed 1. They counter battery me shortly. They're hitting us with mortars still. I'm having to start moving these things around. I am anyway, but, you know, just as a point to note, you have to move them more. They're sending seed over. The cluster was at distraction. The seed goes down anyway because I've got Strellas, not radar, so it's fine. I'm still dropping the odd artillery on the town. They're still hitting us with artillery and mortars. They've brought in a Mars now, so, you know, just trying to kill these tanks. The Mars isn't the best for that, and the Lars doesn't seem to be doing a lot of damage at the moment. Over here, Leopards. I'm still artillerying this town. They're counter-artillerying me now. They are using a Mars, though, which I'm not particularly scared of. But I'm already moving my artillery around pretty frequently. Just getting in the habit of doing that. It's no good having it sat in one place. They do eventually catch me out. So, you know, I forget sometimes to move it. So you have to bear that in mind. You know, it's something you can forget to do. They keep sending that seaplane over. Okay, here we go. We're going again with some more units at this side. They're trying to kill my Strela here. They don't like my Strela. Keeps killing their planes. So I got T-55As. I have loads of infantry. I got the BTRs there to provide fire support. I'm pushing across here. I want to get into this town. They start bringing their bombers in. That cluster, beautiful from them. Absolutely beautiful. Killed most of my tanks. I think one's still alive there, but most of my tanks dead. Really effective. Really effective. I do bring in fighters there, but they get killed straight away. Those fighters were a mistake. That's why they're not in the deck that I had in my deck build for you guys. They weren't up to scratch, so I didn't even bother. It's purely bombers in the actual build that you guys have seen. So I'm actually finally getting into this town a little bit. Units coming in this side from Grigory as well. We are trying to make a push here. My artillery's still coming in, practically hitting my own units, which isn't great. It's bad planning on my part. And I think I actually probably killed my own units there. No excuse for that. That was bad planning of me. That's them getting some shots on my artillery and me moving it again. Grigory pushing in from this side. Me with nothing at this side. Moving my artillery about. I think I'm probably waiting for points at this stage of the game, so I can call in some more stuff. But yeah, this was a heck of a slog to get in this town. Why? Because I'm not using artillery enough. I'm not using bombers enough. Here we go. Bombers coming in from Grigory. Very effective. Seed coming in from him. Another seed coming in from him. He's doing a good job. Using those bombs very effectively. Has cleared out that side of the town. Me, not so much. Bringing in some more tanks here. He's got some more tanks coming in as well. Bringing across his T-80s to try and kill anything else that's there. Problem here, these grenadiers. I know they're there. I just can't do anything about them. I think I'm really struggling for points here. I did bring in a bomber myself, but I don't think it actually killed anything. That's me bringing in a seed plane as well. Not very useful. Keeps coming in as if it's going to target something, but it obviously doesn't target that Roland 2. Managed to get a shot off at whatever that was there, though, and kill it. My HE bomber is just not exiting, even though it's dropped its payload. It's not doing its evac Winchester at all. Managing to push into this side with a couple of tanks now. I don't want to be getting these too close. I don't know what I'm doing with them. Getting a bit carried away. Very suicidal. Bringing in my T-55A as well. They need infantry support. This is very silly. Very silly. Not a lot happening here. Lots of units here that could push in, but nothing exciting at the moment. Still, the main focus here. Grigory doing a really good job pushing through with his Sappery. Sappery obviously very good with their satchel charges when they get up close and personal. T-55 still pushing through slowly. They're reinforcing this side. They've got 2 Leopard 203s. Not great news. Why are my weapons still turned on them? That's very poor of me. They should be turned off. 2 T-64s there, taking on those leopards. I got a bunch of T-55s coming in. I will engage them. Probably won't do a huge amount to these leopards, unfortunately. Oh, we do manage to kill one of them. I think just in pure numbers of firepower. That's me bringing in a anti-tank jet. Did the job. So both of those tanks are dead. Very pleased about that. These tanks, I don't know what I'm doing with them, to be honest. They're going to get killed by those grenadiers if I'm not careful. Some sappery coming in for Grigory there. My tanks, I'm just kind of sitting them, trying to engage everything as best I can. But they're not going to last long. Once those sappery are dead, they're definitely going to be dead. That cluster, yeah, cluster does the job. Really good cluster bomber play from this guy. Twice now he's killed a lot of my tanks. Gotta give him credit for that. They're holding out really well in this town. I'm playing very badly in terms of taking a town. I should watch my own tutorial videos. Being very poor at taking a town. Not, you know, what is my artillery doing? It should be a constant stream of fire on this town to force them back, force them out. I mean, we're in now. We're going to take it. All of our forces are in. I just called in everything there. I'm just ignoring these grenadiers. It's just not worth it. They're there and I'm not going to worry about it. Disconnected from game. This was one of their players disconnected. I don't think it was me disconnecting from the game there, for the record. One of their players disconnected. I can't remember which one. But yeah, one of them disconnected. I think once we took this town. Obviously these grenadiers still pushing along there. I wish I could remember who quit now. But I can't. I honestly can't. So, not a lot happening on this side. These units are starting to make a move towards this point now. I think as Grigory put it at this point, he felt like it was an attack move all into this point. Which may have been the case. It may have been a last-ditch attempt. I'm slowly pushing up these infantry now, getting in buildings that are actually still standing. Intention, obviously, we must kill this CV. This command vehicle has to die. And you'll notice I'm still not using a lot of bombers. Anti-tank plane coming in for me there. I didn't rely on them for this deck, and the reality is I should be relying on them more. I do in later games that I've played. Like the 10v10 I played. I did try to record the 10v10 only to discover that the recording or the replay actually ends before the end of the game. Desynced, because there's a desync issue in the game right now which they are scrambling to fix. I had the rocket one in my deck at this point. As I say, old deck. Rocket jet, not so great. I scrapped that. Nice idea. Didn't work so well. Some mortar fire from them on the town. Pretty effective at destroying buildings. A little bit of damage. Look at that tank. It is still standing. After all this time, it's still standing. Managed to kill those units that were there now. Bringing in my own command vehicle for this point. As I say, good unit. Having a command tank. Not to be underestimated. It takes a bit of punishment. Better than what else is available to you at the front lines. Grigory getting hit by a bit of everything now. But it's dribs and drabs. It's not like they've called in everything at once. It's like a tank here, a tank there, a chopper here, a chopper there. So Grigory's managing to hold that. Obviously he had switched his focus a little bit to my side. A command tank is still standing. Here we go. I've neutralized it now. We're back to getting 3 points. Obviously they've called in a command vehicle to come into this corner. Now I think I might call in a few things at this side. I can't remember now. I think I do eventually try to assist at that side. Or it might have been a different game. But Motor Stalky there going for that tank. But obviously still choppers there firing. Is that chopper even... It is in the air. I was about to complain that it's landed and still firing. But it is in the air. It just doesn't look it. Abrams. I mean, I've got some infantry here, Panzer Jägers, coming in now. The intention being I can send them up to kill it. Really, I could do with getting these guys up here. I mean, I've got a few squads there. I think these guys could just be moved into the town now. They're bringing in another Leopard 2A3. Still a problem for this deck. Obviously, if it gets close enough, not so much, because the Panzer Jägers and stuff can deal with that quite effectively. He's landed his chopper. He has landed his chopper to rearm it. T-80 there, putting out some damage, but not enough. That T-80 is going to die. Yeah. Unfortunate. That Leopard is getting ballsy, though. Way too close. Should be able to hit it with a Motsuchin. My sappery die, though. Mars hitting my artillery. See, that's when I missed it. That's when they weren't moving fast enough. Motsuchin killed that tank. No problems at all. Just having a look. Do we see... Their command vehicle must have been killed before it even got in. Probably by these tanks. Over here, I think I'm still waiting. I've got some T-72s coming in now as well. My T-72 moving up, giving these guys a boost to elite. My intention to get these guys far enough up to kill that command tank. Moving the Motsuchin up as well. Loads of reinforcements coming in for those guys as well now. They've realised that they need to secure this because they're not getting in here. Grigory has it very well defended. Really well played to the other team. I mean, they put up one hell of a fight in this point, and I was playing so badly by not, you know, using artillery and bombers effectively. And then smoke. Smoke would have helped a lot with my pushes. No excuse for that. So, loads of fire from them. Do manage to kill that command tank. My tank's not faring too well against all of their stuff coming in. They've got an Apache there, which... Has it actually fired? I think it did manage to fire again. It is still rearming because it's still landed. I'm not sure. Choppers act weirdly in this game. So they just kind of attack moving with these guys now. Obviously, not great for me. Bomber came in there on that. Hasn't unfortunately killed it. Mortars coming in on the town. Got loads of Panzer Jägers coming up. Some more tanks. They have managed to kill all my tanks, unfortunately. They are doing a good little push back in here. Over this side, Grigory obviously getting hit by a lot of artillery, but I don't know why that Mars is right up on the front line. That's going to die. Oh, there's a little command vehicle. Is that a different one? I assume that's a new one that's been called in. Grigory doing a good job of defending there, though. Over here, tanks, Panzer Jägers doing a good job clearing out all those infantry that were coming in. That's still landed, but I'm sure look, it's firing. That's landed and it's firing through tree lines. That's bullshit. That's not on. That was firing while landed. Unacceptable. Hitting me now with a MRLS cluster. Thought so. It was either that or a Lars. Thankfully, didn't hit my tank. They're still sending stuff in, but Panzer Jäger should be able to kill this Leopard without too much issue. Also got a anti-tank jet coming in there. And from their point of view, they don't have much there at all now. I mean, they're not getting back into that point. Poor guy's on his own, of course. And doing a good job at keeping up the fight. Doesn't appear to have managed to get a command vehicle in at that side. And at this side, pulling back that Apache now. That tank's dead. Still has some pivads and stuff over here, but... Abrams coming in, but I think as it stands they're not going to take that point now. Mostly just Grigory being under an artillery barrage at this side, the odd shots coming in on me here. I think we'll speed this up to the end now. We're plus 6 points. The guy would have to do something pretty drastic to stop us now. Obviously doing a heavy push at this side. Good push there. Credit to him. He has managed to get into the point more. I don't see a command vehicle though. And that's game. Good game. Well played to the other team. My kills to losses were not great, and this is because of my assaults on that town. My assaults on that town were not good. You will note that this replay is not from my point of view necessarily. You'll notice that it appears to be from probably General Paz, because the Leopard 1A5s are showing there, which wasn't my units, so it's a bit weird how the replays work at the moment. But you can see down here the kills we got and stuff. Grigory doing a lot of the work. I did a really bad job at attacking the towns. As I said all the way through that, I should have been bombing, I should have been artillerying, I should have been smoking, and I wasn't. So learn from my mistakes. Utilize all of those things if you're attacking a town in this game, because going in semi-blind is always the case with towns, and I just lost a lot of stuff pushing in, mostly to things like tanks sitting at the sides and bombers. So yeah, badly played on my part, but really good game overall. We did win. I think Grigory pushed it in at the end there with his attack on the town from the other side. But thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share and subscribe as always, and stay tuned. I will be putting up some more gameplay videos this week.